what day it is? Draft day!
I am so disappointed that I missed the flock draft. I was all ready to come on here, talk to y'all about the flock draft. His draft room just opened up. I was all excited to hit it. Unfortunately, I missed it by minutes. The bull rips must have gotten me. It's okay. We're getting low in the money left in the account, so we didn't need to hit a $10 right now, I guess. But we're gonna hop over into our $5 draft. Oh, yeah, I was all excited for Flock's draft to make this video. The guys I draft in every draft. We're pick 1. We haven't been pick 1 in a while, and we're not taking CMC. Fuck that. We have enough CMC. I'm satisfied. I'm content. So all of you who know who we are, I'm sorry, but we're officially locked in, especially in a video titled Guys I Draft in Every Draft. Tyreek actually has to be the first one. If you're pick 1, go take Tyreek. I'm sorry, bro. I'm the Tyreek Whisperer. Around the clock. Tyreek Hill. Pick 1. We're starting right. These are the guys I draft in every draft. So, after Tyreek Hill, first, I wanted to talk about Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard is actually a player I have not drafted once. So let's find out when he goes. Chuba Hubbard, 150. We'll try to get Chuba Hubbard. The situation there is just too valuable, and I've heard a couple guys talk about it, and it's definitely something you should get your hands on. I think Brooks is going to have a slower start than at least my friends in my dynasty think. It just opens the door for Chuba Hubbard, the first guy I'm about to just start drafting in every draft. At ADP of 151, like, I don't know who else I'm actually liking around that range, but I'm gonna just start taking Chuba Hubbard as my 3rd or 4th RB in every draft. The next guy after Chuba Hubbard I had as an honorable mention, and maybe I should keep him there, because everyone's worried about this whole wrist thing. Joe Burrow is my most invested player this season. My highest invested player. I believe he is the most undervalued top tier player this season. Chase is gonna be a future Hall of Famer, just like K9. The risk can be a little concerning, and after last year, he's in a great value. He's my most invested player. I see him winning us some of the most money, and he's the starting quarterback for the destined draft. So, he shouldn't even be an honorable mention. He should be the 3rd player on this list, right after the 2nd player, who I'll get to after these picks. Who are we looking at? We have Reek. I wouldn't be opposed to 2 receivers here depending on who's available with DK as that 3rd. Wow, I'm doing it. Here's the dream. I had this dream once and it started with Reek. I didn't think I'd be doing it here. Who's the 2nd wide receiver for us? Ayuk? Cup is shooting up boards. We're going Ayuk. Ooh. See, we could have gone like a Tank Dell, but we're going Ayuk and DK. And we officially just got one of the dreams, and it's DK at the wide receiver 3. We had a dream where when he was your wide receiver 3, one of the playoff games he advances you through. I don't know which one, so you have to get there first. But if you build the right team and you get there, he wins you 1 advancement, which is big money in the play-in tournament. So this team, Tyreek Hill, Ayuk, DK. Ayuk is either about to get big money in San Fran or go be a wide receiver 1. It's just worth it. I don't like taking him over guys like Devontae Adams because he's going to get his 100th touchdown this year. And even though I don't like his situation, he's on the destined team. See, I wouldn't have a problem with even a DJ Moore on this team. A DJ Moore, a Tank Dell. Those guys are my debatable who I would take for the wide receiver 2 before DK. The only thing is, Ayuk just feels like the situation when you're building this team as the DK wide receiver 3 and the Reek 1, you either get a guy who goes and gets his bag or goes and be a wide receiver 1. I think DJ can be explosive. I think Tank can be explosive, but they might not be the wide receiver 2 that this dream team was looking for. And now that we have our 3 wide receivers, show y'all the board real quick. This is what's happened so far. Everything pretty similar. Jahmyr Gibbs about the same spot. Nothing too much from the injury. Achane goes way too early as always. Sorry, I'm just an Achane, like, doubter. No, I'm not. I'm not an Achane doubter. I just unfortunately know what this kid's early side of his career is going to look like. So explosive. It's just unfortunate that his body won't be able to handle it for seasons. Until he's gone through 4 seasons, just injury rehab, consistent, exploding injuries, minor things that just limit him. So one of my next most valued guys in drafts is Raheem Mostert. For most undervalued, him and right now David Montgomery too. David Montgomery and K9. That's a whole nother video. Second guy on this list for guys I'm drafting in every draft. Actually, we're on the clock next, so I'll tell you after that pick. I rambled. Here, we want either McBride or Mandrews or Yade. Okay, we're taking Mixon first, just as the RB. It's okay. We'll fill in the team because now we got to decide. This has been a hard decision for me. Trey McBride, Mark Andrews, or Dalton Kincaid. I do think Kincaid is actually the guy this year. And I'm sorry, but I can't go with the McBride or Andrews thing because this isn't guys I want and haven't gotten enough of. These are the guys I draft in every draft. I have to actually really put a team together here. And so I know I talked about guys like McBride and Mandrews having league-winning upside, but clearly this is why I'm not drafting them enough, because I'm taking Kincaid at that same opportunity. Mixon, he's a destined RB. He's the RB2. I think he's going to have some explosion games. This team, we're going to get at least 4 RBs for, leading us into our number 1 player on the list alongside a couple other names. Second guy on the list, however, fully down to the bias, Lions 1934. It's the best wide receiver 2 in the league this year, Jameson Williams. He's just coming into a great situation. I've already had the visions for him. This is why I'm telling you he's just my truly biased answer on this list, holding the number 2 spot for guys I draft in every draft. It's Jameson Williams. So this draft, guys, we know we're getting Jameson Williams. Oh fuck, are we getting another Burrow team? Jeez, he'll probably fall to us. If he falls to us in this draft, we'll get him because of all this injury shit. So we're getting J-Mo and the number 1 guy, potentially Burrow, Chuba Hubbard, and then even potentially like Mostert or Chase Brown, some other undervalued names. And that leads us into the last player left. The number 1 player on the list, the guy that made me make this video for guys I draft in every draft. If I didn't like playing myself, Jerome Ford. Heard me talk about it before. For those of you, again, who saw the Destined Draft, you saw us crumble without Jerome Ford. Now, it's the Destined Draft, so that team will be the one that didn't need Ford. But Jerome Ford, bro. So, are we getting close to any of them now? Our next pick, 96. J-Mo is the first one. We'll just let the clock take it. And Joe Burrow is going to fall to us. And we also get... I guess we're taking Mostert. What the fuck? That doesn't seem right. I hope they gave us Curtis. Whoa, that was weird. That was really weird. I was a little scrunched on time. I didn't quite know what I wanted. We should have taken Mostert. That was me being a little slow. Curtis will get us points, though. Don't worry about that. Minuscule mistake. But our wide receivers will be dominant. We hit the trend of last year's highest advancement rate being your 5 wide receivers by round 7 was actually the highest advancement rate. So, we're there. The first time I've hit that all season, keep in mind. And so now, if Joe Burrow falls, we're taking him, and when's our pick after that? 121. Fuck. That's about when Jerome Ford's been going, when I've been trying to wait for him. Oh boy. When's like Chase Brown? Chase Brown is 99. Yeah, oh boy. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. We're getting weird. So this is probably what's gonna happen. This round, it looks like we're gonna go, if Joe Burrow falls, him, and probably Chase Brown. Where's Mostert? Did Mostert go? Yes. Mostert wins. See, we were gonna take Mostert, but it's okay. Mostert's not in this video just like Chase Brown isn't. Those are just undervalued guys, so you can have either of them. Would have made sense with the Chon hate at the start of the video, though. So the vision here, Joe Burrow falls, and we take him and Chase Brown. And then the next 2 picks, Jerome Ford, and then either any of Gus Edwards, Blake Corum, or Goff. It'll depend on if we actually get Burrow here. Let's see. But yeah, those of you also who watch guys I want and haven't gotten enough of saw me just barely miss out on Curtis Samuel. So this is officially my first Curtis Samuel stock. So let me get Burrow and Chase. Oh no! Burrow goes. Who else? Oh, we could get sneaky. Since we're taking Chuba Hubbard, I'm down for Jonathan Brooks. We're about to get Chase Brown and Jonathan Brooks. Okay, so, wait. If I don't get Jerome Ford, I fucked up. I would have taken Jerome Ford and Jonathan Brooks. I actually didn't need Chase Brown on this team, I'm not going to be mad if it works, because my RBs will be full. Might end up with 5, which we don't do a lot, because we're still needing Ford and Chuba Hubbard. I don't want anybody else. Ford and Chuba Hubbard. Next picks, we need Ford and Goff. Goff will be our QB1. No problem. I said it in the Destined Dynasty. Goff will lead his team to the Super Bowl. You don't think he'll lead yours there too? Of course he will. With a team like these, of course. I'm going to need Jerome Ford not to get reached on. Oh my god, his ADP is shot down to 123. If you all remember, his ADP was around 130, 127, and I wanted to get him at 130. And he's been going at 122 in every draft since. We're 120. We need him. It would be such a mistake if we took Chase Brown over Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford is higher than Chase Brown in my rankings. And that's why I actually need to make my rankings for y'all. I'm sorry. It's my first year. I've been like just slacking, just keeping it all to myself. I'll actually hook y'all up. But for the first year, just watch how well it works. I need Jerome, and there's no other questions about it. When you go into the RBs, Jerome's the 4th one, and I don't even like looking at it like this because it really feels like he's just about to get popped. We're up in 6. I'm not looking at it like that. We're just going to let us get him. And we would take Jerome Ford and Jared Goff. We need them both. Please don't fuck with me. I already took Curtis and Chase Brown. Like, this isn't the draft to fuck with me. Like, please. There goes Ford. Boys, I fucked up the draft for y'all, but at least you know what it was supposed to be. At this point, we're just gonna probably take Jacoby and Goff because we're just gonna get, ideally, next round, Dobbins and Chuba. There's some consciousness learning for y'all. Go look at the picks when I just locked in on Chase Brown first after having the cool idea on Jonathan Brooks and Chuba Hubbard. That's where you need to then take a second. You had the cool idea of Jonathan Brooks and Chuba Hubbard. Don't forget what this draft is. It's the guys I draft in every draft. That means you're taking them around early. That's okay. It's better than Chase Brown. Jerome Ford on this team is actually what makes this team too scary. And all of you are welcome. Anyone in this draft room especially, you're not welcome because I'm still going to be top 2 with this team. But like y'all who make it to the play-in tournament, you're welcome. We will still get 1 advancement rate with this team, but we didn't get the team that would really take it. And that's having Jerome Ford over Chase Brown right there. And then we go get Chuba Hubbard. So that's the idea of this team. The guys I would draft in every draft if I didn't like playing myself. We missed out on 2. Joe Burr by 1 pick and Jerome Ford by 2 picks. How are you going to have a list of 4 guys that you would draft in every draft and not come away with all of them? You didn't even draft them all in this draft. And the only 2 you're going to let yourself get, actually, are the bias one of the 4 and the one you haven't drafted yet. I really didn't get either of the 2. 2 real answers to this video. The guys I would draft in every draft. The 2 I would tell you guys to draft in every draft is Jerome Ford, around before he's in question, Joe Burrow, when he makes it to you, and as a late flyer, Chuba Hubbard for the start of the season. That's it. In redraft, you don't really need Chuba Hubbard. You still have bad weeks. But you have him on your team so you can move him for trade value. This is my first Jonathan Brooks. J.K. Dobbins goes. Of course he does. So our 4th RB is, as long as we get him here, Chuba Hubbard, which is weak. Would be strong with Jerome Ford. Because then we would have 3 starting RBs. Mixon, Ford, and Carolina. Oh, fuck. We're on the clock again? Who do we want? When you don't know what to do, follow the destined players. Like simply. When you don't know what to do and you're in a time crunch, just use the destined community. Nah, but like this should work out because I had the dream with this team. So this probably upgrades Chase Brown's value a little too. Even though y'all know we're literally a better team with Jerome Ford than Chase Brown. That's why it's crazy that Jerome Ford's going where he is. That's why he's the #1 player on this. My most undervalued player. It's only because I've already seen it, bro. I can see the future. I can see. So we only have 1 QB and 1 tight end right now. Both of which aren't necessarily what we need. But for your first 3 wide receivers being Tyreek Hill, Ayuk, and DK. And then J-Mo as your 4. Curtis filling in early season. And the RBs, they gonna work. Not the ideal, but they gonna work. The most important thing is 1 more QB, 1 more tight end. Oh, shit, we're up next. I could take Baker as my backup. And Conklin if I don't like any of these wide receivers. But I wouldn't have a problem getting a McMillan or an Ian. I think I'm cool on the tight end situation. Okay, so I guess I'm cool on the McMillan situation. Conklin's by week 12 and Otten's week 11, then Likely's week 14, and I think Likely's oversold. So we're going to let ourselves get, do we want Otten over McMillan? They're both on the same team. Yeah. Wow. Cool. I took McMillan. I didn't need Otten, like originally said. I like McMillan a little bit as one of these late kind of things. And I'm just thinking about Tampa late in the season and Otten having the explosion game, or those actually shifting to this new little wide receiver. I think that'd be cooler. And we know I can always draft Okonkwo. He is the dreamed tight end. You know what? Okonkwo should be the last player on this list. The bonus player of guys I would draft in every draft if I didn't like playing myself. Chig Okonkwo. He's just the tight end we dreamed about. And both the dreams of Chig and the dream of DK advancing you a playoff round as your wide receiver 3 happen at the same house. So they only make sense to be on the same team. Yeah, we're taking Chig at the next pick and got our backup QB. Baker gonna work. And if you want to take somebody like a Fields on this team, I'm not gonna tell you you can't as your QB3. You want some upside come playoff time. I mean, I don't think 3 quarterbacks are necessary. I think it can leave you a little thin, especially if you end up going 3 tight ends. But if I go Kincaid and Okonkwo, I might not care for a 3rd tight end. We'll just see who's available. Probably not, to be honest. I don't like the tight ends after Okonkwo. He is my favorite tight end that after he goes, I don't want any of them. And I think he should be spots above many of them. But you can actually just wait and go get the only guy you're still acceptable for and pick him before he's even close. So we're gonna go Chig, right? Because that's it for tight end. I won't want anybody after him, which takes us down to Fields goes at 182 nowadays. That's what I'm saying. I was getting him as my last round pick early in the summer. It's kind of early now. 182? I mean, we're at 192. I'm not taking him. I mean, okay. Are there any Kamani? Did I take JK? No, he got snatched from me too. Dude, I could get Kamani. Are there any other RBs I want? Let's look at one at a time. So we're gonna let it take Chig. There are no other RBs I'd want. Oh, besides Kamani, and he just wins. So we're taking a wide receiver. Wait. Holy shit. We're taking Fields. Fuck it. I don't like any of those RBs or wide receivers, so I'm good. We're going to go 3 QBs in this build, which is rare for me, and only 2 tight ends in this build, which if Kincaid is what I think he'll be, where I picked him over Mandrews and McBride, it'll work. Otherwise, it won't. That's just a chance. We're playing the tight end game. We're acting like we're him. But I also already told you what this team will be, so it sounds like we are. Last pick. Alright. Who's the last guy here that we want? Yo, that could be sneaky. We take Elijah Mitchell for the same reason we didn't take CMC 1. That could be sneaky. Wow. Am I really satisfied with my receivers as these 8? Let's read them. The highest playoff advancement rate was the teams who took their 5 receivers by round 7, which we did. Also, the next highest advancement rate was the teams that finished with 8 wide receivers. You only draft 3 more after round 7. We are following the trends with this team and putting together 2 dreams. We missed out on the purpose of the video, shockingly enough. But I'll tell you, we could really put something together with this. If Elijah Mitchell makes it, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. You just said, fuck it. CMC can't be my first round pick. I see an injury or something. Who is? Well, we're the Tyreek Whisperer, so obviously Tyreek. And then you don't even have Mitchell as a stack. Take him as your 5th RB because you didn't take CMC as your first pick. Those are rare correlations to come along, I'll tell you that. 4 picks away. He's 2nd on the board, 1st on the board. See if we get it. I don't know who I'm taking if we don't. I guess I'm talking big for a draft that I've missed a lot of picks. It typically makes sense that you'll get your last pick. Oh, am I the last pick of the draft? Yes. Yes, I am. Elijah Mitchell being Mr. Irrelevant would be dumb. The guy who has CMC should take him. Let's see. Probably the 2nd team, which means the next guy on the clock should take Elijah Mitchell. And probably pretty quick if he's smart. And he takes Dwan Jennings, so we get Elijah. Boys, a slight mishap for the guys I would draft in every draft. Jerome Ford, we missed out on. He is the most important, in my opinion. Draft him in every draft from here on out, and I will not let myself miss him again. Jameson Williams, he's my bias. He'll be the 2nd best wide receiver 2 in the league. At that value, you're taking Devonta Smith in the 3rd round. Wait on J-Mo. Yeah, he is a little earlier than I guess I'd be realizing, but it's cool. The point still lies. Smith in the 3rd or J-Mo in the 6th. J-Mo, 2nd player on this list. 3rd player, Joe Burrow. We missed him by a pick. And then freaked out because we were supposed to take Burrow. and missed the most important player, Jerome Ford, but we finished off with some help. Jonathan Brooks for the 4th player on this list. Coming out of the 12th round, Chuba Hubbard, my first time drafting him, and I plan to try to draft him in every draft from here on out. My last 2 RBs for all my remaining teams should be Jerome Ford and Chuba Hubbard, maybe one more depending on the situation. That should be in every league, which is why Burrow doesn't actually have to be on this list, and he was the honorable mention, because I don't need Burrow in every draft remaining. And the bonus. The number 5 on this list, there's really only one. There's one true one, but the 5th on this list, Chiggo Konkwu. Go take him in every 16th round of your draft as your 2nd or 3rd tight end, depending on your situation. If you got a beast, you probably only need 2 tight ends. If you don't, you want 3. We saw this team in a dream. Whether this is the exact one or not, who knows? We'll find out if it gets us there. But if it does, y'all better know DK is advancing you around as your wide receiver 3. It's the only time I'm drafting DK.
Smoke effect.
Yeah, that's a wrap. It's destiny.